I greet you all and welcome you to the lesson. The subject is auditing and assurance. Today we are going to study peer review and its objectives. We are going to define peer review, then we will outline the objectives of peer review. And peer review in auditing is also known as practice monitoring. Also known as practice monitoring. Peer review is also known as practice monitoring or an external quality review or external quality review. Okay. It may also be known as audit of the auditors. It is the audit of the auditors. And it is a process where an independent evaluation of an audit firm is conducted by another audit firm or a regulatory body. So if you have audit firm A, okay, that audits company B. So company B contracts company A to audit its books. This company A, this auditor A, the work of auditor A may also be audited by auditor B. So peer review in the context of auditing is where the auditor's work is audited by independent reviewers. You understand? It is a crucial component of the firm's overall quality control system, and it serves as an external check on its adherence to professional standards. This auditor, while auditing company A, is required to carry out the audit in accordance with international standards on auditing. So auditor B comes in to check whether auditor A conducted the audit of company B in adherence to these professional standards. So one thing to note is that a peer review is an independent review. Okay? It involves independent reviewer. Independent reviewer. An independent reviewer. The review is conducted by an independent CPA firm or a peer review team designated by a professional body. And this ensures objectivity. So peer review also involves what we call scope. What is the scope of a peer review? Now, the peer review typically covers a firm's system of quality controls, understand? And also compilations and a sample of the engagements. So a reviewer, in reviewing, we gave this B as the reviewer, the peer reviewer. B is the peer reviewer. So when reviewing the work of auditor A, this reviewer will take a sample of audits that are conducted by company A. And this could be, this audit firm may, for example, in a year conduct, say, 10 audits, 10 audit engagements, B, D, E, F, and so on. So when reviewing the work that is done by this audit firm, this reviewer will take a sample of the audits that are performed by this audit firm and check if the audit firm adhered to professional standards while conducting these audits. So that is the scope. It covers a firm's system of control. The reviewer will check the systems of controls of this company. Then you take a sample of the audits that were conducted to find out if the company adhered to the standards. Because auditors, when carrying out their work, they are required to adhere to specific professional auditing standards. So that is the scope. So a system review is generally required for firms performing audits. So the system will also be. The third thing is evaluation. A peer review involves evaluation against standards. Evaluation against standards. The reviewing firm evaluates the reviewed firm's compliance with applicable professional standards. These standards could be the international standards on auditing, or generally accepted government auditing standards, or any other standard. So the review is done by evaluating the work that is done by the auditor against certain standards. Do you understand? So a peer review involves independent reviewer. There is the scope. There is also evaluation against standards. 4, regularity. A peer review will also involve what we call regularity. Peer reviews are typically conducted on cyclical basis, often every 3 years as mandated by professional bodies. It has to be conducted regularly. Then, of course, there is the outcome. What is the outcome of a practice monitoring or peer review? Now, the outcome of peer review is usually a report with a rating. There has to be a report at the end of the assignment with a rating. It could be a pass, or pass with deficiencies, or even fail. And fail may come with the recommendations on the areas to improve on. So that is what a peer review involves. And that is the meaning of peer review. Let's move to the second part of the lesson, objectives. What are the objectives of peer review? What do you think, candidates? Now, the primary objective of peer review are rooted in enhancing audit quality and serving public interest. So the first objective is to enhance audit quality. 1 is to enhance audit quality and reliability. The first objective is to enhance audit quality and reliability. That is to mean that peer reviews promote compliance. This audit quality is attained by promoting compliance. Promote. When compliance is promoted, then quality is guaranteed. Is to provide reasonable assurance that the reviewed firm is complying with all relevant professional standards, ethical requirements, and also regulatory mandates in its audit and assurance engagements. 2, identify. In conducting a peer review, the reviewer may identify deficiencies. So the objective is to identify areas where a firm system of quality control might be deficient, or where engagements were not performed or reported in conformity with applicable standards, and that helps the firm to learn and improve. 3, foster. Quality is enhanced by fostering best practice. Okay, that means to share best practices and insights among firms, which then promotes continuous improvement in audit methodologies and processes across the profession. Now, the second objective is to protect public interest. The second objective of peer review is to protect public interest and enhance confidence. And enhance confidence is to protect public interest and enhance confidence by maintaining public interest. Okay? Maintaining public interest. Maintaining public interest. Maintain public interest. To maintain public interest. To assure the public, to assure the regulators and other stakeholders that the firm is committed to quality and the firm is being held accountable by their peers, thereby enhancing confidence in the integrity and reliability of audited financial information. 2, reduce audit risk. Peer review also reduces audit risk. By identifying and rectifying deficiencies, peer review helps reduce the risk of material misstatements going undetected in financial statements and thereby reducing the risk of inappropriate audit opinions. You understand? Yes. To support, another point is to support the firm. The peer review can support the company or the audit firm that is being reviewed. Okay? Through constructive feedback. So this firm is supported through constructive feedback. It's to provide constructive feedback and recommendations to the reviewed firm, thereby helping them to improve their quality control systems, methodologies, and overall engagement performance. And that is often viewed as an educational process, not just a disciplinary performance. There is also the aspect of professional development. The reviewed firm can also gain quite a lot because the review process can highlight areas where the firm or the personnel of the firm may need additional training or professional development to keep up with the evolving standards or complex areas. You understand? Yes. Let's move on to the fourth objective. Objective number 4. The fourth objective is to enforce professional standards. To enforce professional standards. Enforce professional standards like accountability. Okay? One, through accountability. Accountability. The purpose of a peer review is to hold audit firms accountable for the quality of their work and their adherence to established professional standards. It is also a deterrence. Deterrence. Peer review can also be seen as a deterrence because the knowledge that a firm will undergo a peer review can act as a deterrent against complacency or substandard work. You understand? Yes. Then there is also licensing. 3. Licensing. In many jurisdictions, successful completion of a peer review is a mandatory requirement for maintaining a firm's license. This is the license to practice or its membership in the professional accounting bodies. So these are 4 key objectives of a peer review. And that marks the end of today's lesson, in which you have defined peer review and we have outlined the objectives of peer review. We've defined peer review as the audit of auditors. We've said that peer review can also be referred to as practice monitoring or external quality review, and it involves independent reviewer. There is also the scope and evaluation against standards. In peer review, the firm's performance is evaluated against standards. Then we also say that peer review is done on regular basis. It could be after every 2 or 3 years. Then there is the outcome. So that is the meaning of peer review. Okay? It is a critical component of a firm's overall quality control system, and it serves as an external check on its adherence to professional standards. Then we have listed several objectives here. The first objective of peer review is to enhance quality control and reliability by promoting compliance, identifying deficiencies, and fostering best practice. The second objective is protecting public interest through maintaining of public interest, reducing audit risk. Number 3 is to support the reviewed firm through constructive feedback and professional development. Objective number 4 is to enforce professional standards, accountability. It is also deterrence. Then there is the aspect of licensing and member requirement. So in closing, candidates, you should remember that peer review serves as an external independent validation of the firm's commitment to quality and also adherence to standards. And it complements a firm's internal control procedures by offering an objective assessment and driving continuous improvement through the auditing profession. Thank you for attending the lesson. Bye-bye.